Okay, welcome to another episode of Don't Let It Stu. Today, I have a kind of a newish friend. Well, not new friend, like 2 years ago, maybe since I brought out that cookbook, the Housewives cookbook. His Instagram account is Faces by Bravo. He is a Bravo superfan, basically, you are. And he dresses up as them with wigs as well. On his account, Faces by Bravo, everyone welcome Stephen Krugel. Is it
Thank
Krugel?
you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
I'm so excited.
We were trying to get this lined up for a while.
I know. And I was going to say, congrats on we had been talking about, an
opportunity like this, like with the
Yeah,
podcast, and
this
it
is
finally
so
kind of came
great.
to be, which is like, I know it's like saying there's like a sign here and we're like in my apartment.
Yes.
It's like crazy. But a lot of fun, a lot of going on. I feel like there's so much like good Housewives going on right now at the moment.
Well, good reality TV.
Yes.
We only got one Housewives going, but yes.
I feel like, is Orange County starting up soon?
I hope so. I mean, they just wrapped film. Well, actually, they picked cameras back up to restart filming because of the Pedranti
Oh,
stuff.
okay. So that will kind of be at the
Which
very
we'll
end,
get
maybe.
into that, I think.
Yeah,
a
we
little
will.
bit,
Just,
but...
I mean, what? So I always start off with something like that's stewing, like every week, and I got caught out on like Sunday night. I went out for a few drinks on Sunday with a few friends. We're into High Tops or whatever. And I ran into two people that like I couldn't remember their name, and they gave me so much shit for it. And the thing about it is, it's like you go out, you always have those like bar acquaintances that you always kind of run into.
1000%.
And I may have met them like 6, 7, 8 times. No excuse. I'm just shit at remembering names. But I'm always like, I've always had a few drinks and I just never remember. It's like, hi, how are you?
Well, also sometimes like people are better at faces than they are names sometimes. And
like, do I need to know your name really? It's just like, let's just chat and have a good time.
Impact. I don't know.
Has that ever happened to you? Do you remember names or do you like...
I used to be really good with remembering names, but I feel like there's been so many people I've met over the past few years. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older too. My memory isn't.
But I think like if someone forgot my name, I wouldn't give them shit over it. I'd be like, fine, just ask me my name. It's Stuart. It's fine.
Actually, the caveat to it is if they were not purposely trying to be like, oh, I don't remember you. Like if someone was purposely doing that, that's one thing. If someone just forgot and has forgot a couple times, that's a little more innocent.
It's like and I'm just like, oh, here's my friend Jason. And you're hoping that they'll say their name to them.
It is the best way to get out of that scenario. I literally always pray to God that if I'm going to be in a scenario where I need to introduce someone, if I am in a scenario where I don't remember someone's name, I hope someone's with me that I can introduce them to. So they say their name.
It's really the only way. Or else what I'll do is maybe I'm like, oh yeah, we should get together. Like, oh, do you have your email address? Like, give me your email address. I'll email you that. And usually their name is an email. And that's another way around it too. It's kind of sort of like, oh yeah, like no, I should email you that or whatever. You just make up something and then just like, Or give them your phone, like, hey, put your number on my phone.
And then they can write their name. Yeah.
And they just put their number in the text you. They're like, hey.
You could be like, you could text them and be like, Chef Stu. And then they could write back their name.
They're like, hey. I'm like, no, that's not what I need. What do you have on your mind? Do you have anything that's like
something that is stewing with me? And I feel like this probably stews with everybody, but I just was really thinking about it last night. And I'm getting really irritated thinking about how much I'm paying in streaming services.
Oh, I actually, you know what I did? There was just so many I had a whole thing happen with a car wash here in LA with my credit card. And basically what has happened is they were double charging my American Express because you lose a credit card. And so when you go to the car wash and it's like it's a monthly subscription thing and you can go as many times as you want. It's awesome. And like, over the course of 2.5 years, like I've lost a few credit cards. Like it's like 2 or 3 or whatever. But what they were doing is they were holding the old credit card information, taking the new one, and then they were charging both cards. I didn't realize until I got the app Rocket Money or whatever. I downloaded it.
Oh my gosh, you actually pulled it downloaded that?
I downloaded it because I keep getting ads for it. It's really good. And I think you can actually pay what you want. They can donate what you want per month. It's like $3 or $4 or whatever. But it cut that out. I went back and forth with them. Called American Express, the whole thing, and they're sending me a check for $900. It was $900 in charges over 2.5 years. So To get back to your subscription services, what I wanted to do, I wanted to start clean. So I canceled them all. Like Netflix, HBO. Like because I just didn't know, was I paying, was PayPal like going through HBO? Was it like that? I just wanted to clean everything up. And I think I'm going to go to YouTube TV because my friend has it and it's like $15 cheaper.
I say this is not an ad, although I love them. DirecTV Stream is everything.
Oh, is it really?
It is the best streaming because also being on the West Coast, you know, like all the shows air 3 hours ahead, but we got East Coast feed on DirecTV Stream. You can log in everywhere. Like if I'm on vacation or something, I can log in on a random TV.
What is that, like $50 a month, $60 a month?
I can't. I'll have to tell you after.
But it does add up. I know what you mean. It was a point where I added them all up, and I think it was coming out to like $145 a month.
Yeah,
I'm like,
we're back to cable.
Not cheaper at all. Let's just get cable.
It's absurd. And then like you said last night, or like you said for me last night, when I wanted to log onto Max in the bedroom, it must have logged out, and then I couldn't remember what it was tied to. Was it my AT&T? Was it the Verizon? Was it, did it have its own just from the...
I have another good app for that too. It's called 1Password. Have you ever heard of that?
Ooh,
And it keeps all your passwords in one place. It uses 1Password for everything. It's like cryptid and all this kind of stuff. It's cool.
Huh.
So I'm using that.
You've got all the good apps now. Not just us being like
friends in high places telling me
doing all these ads for Rocket Money and DirecTV.
1Password. I'll wait till we get to the gadget later. Baby Reindeer, you started watching it, but you can't get into it?
No, it's not that I'm not into it. It's just every time that we have started it, it's always been really late. Excuse me. And so I fall asleep,
I get that.
That's what happened. I'm really interested. Like I've heard amazing things and I want to watch it.
Yeah, it is. I binged it over the weekend. I think I binged it on Saturday night.
I saw her at the comedy show where she was like, wasn't she like heckling or something? Or no, when he was the guy.
He's a comedian, yes. And you got to that where it was really uncomfortable.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah. And
really
she got like pulled out, and then she was like, "Yeah, like you wanted to do anal sex with me," and like, oh, whatever. If you've not seen it, it's just spectacular. And I didn't know. Am I right with this? The guy that's the comedian in it is actually the person it happened to.
Yes,
it is. Okay, I did get that
right,
which is insane. So he's acting. Well, obviously he's a comedian, so he's probably able to act as well. And then he wrote it, and everything he's saying that happened. Like, he wrote. They probably embellished it a tiny bit.
Even if there is like elements, don't they say at the beginning of a lot of these things like these are based on true events, but some things are dramatized for the show.
No, it says this is a true story, and she's pissed. She went on Piers Morgan for like $250.
Now she wants $250.
Yeah, she wants like $1 million now because she's pissed or whatever. I don't know. She says it's all lies and all this kind of stuff. I don't believe it. Like if you're that much of a crazy person, you're obviously going to deny it when you're caught.
Yeah, you don't believe that it happened?
I do believe it happened.
Oh, okay.
I do because it was I just felt like the story. It was just very specific and like dates and
very weird for him to come up with this whole narrative about a random person,
But remember they had the text messages, they were typed up on the screen. You remember saying like, "Oh, babe, I love you," like whatever. Like, are they legitimately the text messages, do you think, or the emails? I don't know. I'd like to know that because then it's real.
Yeah. No.
All right. So Saturday night, Steven went to an amazing party at Sutton's house. They were filming Beverly Hills Housewives. I was possibly gonna go, but my time to go would have been 10 o'clock with two friends. And I was like, I think I'm going to be in bed. And I was in bed at 9.
And you are.
And I was.
Way to go.
And I'm so bummed because like Megan and Doug were there.
I did see them.
You see Megan? Yeah.
Well, I didn't get the chance to talk to either of them, but I saw them there.
Tell me about it. How was it? You got dressed up.
Fun.
Show us your hats.
Okay. Well, so first of all, the theme was the surrealist ball that the Rothschilds did in 1972. So very much based on like Dolly. I made this clock bag.
Oh, okay.
And then
what were you meant to be?
So
surrealism. He sent me a link. I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll go. Maybe I can go with you guys and then meet my two friends later. He sends me a link to surrealism. I'm like, I don't have any of that shit.
Yeah. So I I had to get explanations about it. It's basically, I think, bringing the subconscious to like, and looking at different patterns or things that wouldn't necessarily
go together,
be real or go together. So you will often see like a lot of like play with, like an animal mask, and then, or another good example would be like, someone was wearing, like, turning an umbrella into, not here, but I saw it on like online, an umbrella into a dress, and
that's
then, like,
cool.
A thunderstorm could be coming from up top. Like it's sort of like your dreams and stuff into reality.
I wouldn't have been able to muster. I mean, I don't know. I probably would have like stuck knives to my like chef coat or something, or you know what I mean, something like that. I just didn't have enough time to pull that shit together.
Yeah.
Was Dorit at the party?
Absolutely.
So she's not her friend then. You think she's part of the cast?
She is full-time, I believe.
Was PK there?
He was not.
Was Mauricio there?
He was not either.
Jeez, was Morgan Wade there?
She was not.
Who was there? Any new? Kathy was there.
Kathy was there. She was the last to attend, I would say. So when we first got there, it was Dorit and Sutton and Jennifer Tilly. And then
do you think she's going to be a friend on the show?
Jennifer Tilly, I believe.
But she's friends with Sutton anyway, right?
Yeah, she is an official friend. She definitely, don't count Jennifer Tilly out on starting some mess. I'll tell you that.
Okay, great. I saw an account. Your moms are watching is the Instagram account. I saw it this morning. It says Kathy Hilton is back. And in the kind of the meme or whatever, it shows her kind of, raising her hands, and it says, I had a friend that was there, and apparently she had a mini meltdown and ripped out her extensions.
If that happened, I did not see that. Not saying it didn't, but I did not see that happen. Kathy was having a great time when I saw her.
Could you imagine she rips out her extensions?
I'm scaring the dog.
The dog is here behind us, and he's like looking at the mask. If you go to Hurrdat Media on YouTube, and you can see this whole thing like coming down, and Milo's like going a bit crazy here. So I think it's just this PK and Dorit thing. I mean, I always felt like for years that like there's just something didn't add up with those two. They always kind of felt a bit scammy to me, and like,
don't come for my queen now. Don't come for my queen now.
Okay,
I'm just kidding. No,
but I just kind of felt like just like the robbery thing, and he was out of town. I was like, okay, that's kind of suspect, and the phone on the ground. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen. It did happen, but like it was just there was a lot of questions around it.
Okay,
and now it's like they're divorced, but they're having dinner in Beverly Hills.
But see, I don't. A lot of you're not alone in the fact that people are confused about the cell phone. But I understand why the cell phone was left. Why would you bring a tracking device essentially with you as a robber?
1,000%. Here's the thing. It's the way he placed it on the ground.
Just placed it down.
You just throw it away. Like I would just like throw that.
Sure, but
But why did he took the phone so she couldn't call 911 or whatever?
Well, yeah. So holding onto the phone so so they can get away, and he left it. Because he's not going to take it with him. Yeah, sure. He could have thrown it.
That makes sense.
But I don't think it's going to I don't think that really helped the robbers out by any means, or it didn't. I don't know.
That's so funny. Okay. So you think it's legit then? They're just going through something right now?
I think, so she shared a couple things with me, but I'll just wait till that comes out.
You don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, I'm not going to give anything away, but I think what they're doing is they're trying to do it all, in the best way, because they really do care for each other, and they want to make it work, and they're going to do everything they can and do it the right way, and hopefully not contentious.
Yeah. I think it's funny that it's Mauricio and PK, the two at the same time, around the same time.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing too, is I saw that they had filmed the other Mauricio and PK.
Oh, right. For Sunset? For the Netflix show?
Well, I mean, I guess it didn't specify, but they were spotted at the Henry filming. I imagine it was for Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, seeing the two of that, like those two are so close and going through similar things.
You can see the bond on that, probably.
But then Dorit and Kyle are not friends right now. So that's...
Yeah, well, that's because she read her text messages. I mean, that was like shitty. Like,
I mean,
posted them.
This is, I understood what Dorit meant in those. Like, it did feel very. It felt like she was trying to get in her head ahead of I get that.
Yeah.
And I don't know that Kyle denies that that's what it was just, but it is weird that you waited all that time to say something.
There you go. She wanted a bomb. Like she wanted a bomb to drop at like the reunion. Like, you know,
like I don't know. You don't wait till the night before when you've had all this time to say, by the way, let's just make this between us, you know?
It's just,
and I love Kyle. I get it. The timing was off for me. It's just as a viewer.
So she told her in confidence and just fucking told everybody. Yeah. It's like, oh my God. Oh geez.
I'm sorry. Dorit is a star to me, and I'm so glad she's back.
Yeah, she's good though. She's great entertainment to watch. I do
so
like
entertaining. I think I give 5 housewives in the whole Housewives universe where I'm like, I'm fine with them. I want them to be full-time housewives, even if they have nothing going on.
Yeah,
and that's Tamra, Sheree, Sonia Morgan, Melissa Gorga, and Dorit.
So that would be your girls trip lineup, basically.
Oh,
if I was to ask you that question, because I was going to ask you that towards the end, but you've kind of like listed out
that's
a lot of good
one.
ones.
Wait, Tamra, Sheree, Gorga, Dorit. There was one more. Sonia. Oh, wait, actually, that's a fun cast.
Yeah, that is a fun cast. Huh. We'll get to that in a minute as well. I want to ask you about that. Okay, so let's go on to Jersey. I mean, this is a whole reality episode. I mean, I kind of love it because this is the perfect guy to have on the show for this. Jersey, like I started watching it maybe last season before, like last 2 seasons, because like I knew Margaret and I know Dolores and Paulie. So I was like, okay, well, it'll be fun because I know them and I can watch them on TV. So like I kind of know what's going on. So, but I don't know why I waited so long to start watching Jersey. It is literally like, it just starts off like the first episode, like out the door, like they're just like screaming at everybody. It's just like the shit just like hits the fan. You're in there already. You don't need 4 episodes to get to one thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's especially when Jersey like revamped their franchise. Like I see Jersey in very like 2 separate installments because like the early seasons are so different than what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously. But the way they revamped on their second wind or second era, which we're in now, is they don't have a lot of filler episodes. It's just let's get to the point. We get the drama, we get, you know,
they're like pros at it.
Yeah. So they've condensed it and stopped doing a lot of the filler stuff that maybe just to extend a season, you know, we're not seeing episodes that are boring as much, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I was impressed with the first episode. I watched the other one last night. What is going on? And like, you know, I know Margaret, I love Margaret and stuff, but like Teresa, like last night in one of her interviews, she was saying like, no, I can't really talk much about it. Like it's legal stuff with Margaret, I'm so happy it's all going to come out or whatever it is. Like, do we have any idea what she's talking about?
I actually have no clue. You know, I love Margaret too. She's great. And I think this is the case of Teresa's doing what Teresa always does.
Yeah.
And she puts out what she thinks is the truth. Like she can hear like a smidgen of a big story and that is what she'll hold on to. And I think even if it's not true, I feel like she'll put it
like
out
she
there.
did with like John Fuda, John Fuda, like, so you're a drug dealer and stuff like that. He's like, no, like I got into something like years and years ago when I was 17. A kid. I was 17. Like, that's drugs.
But that's what's so funny is like she had no clue how that was coming off. Like, there's no self-awareness.
She does that all the time. I feel. Okay.
Like, and as a fellow Taurus, she gives us a bad name because she's someone you would never want to get in an argument with.
No.
Because she
twists the story though a bit. And it's like rewrite history and
she won't hear you. It'll be an endless argument.
Yeah. What did you think of Rachel and Margaret asking Fester not to be friends with Teresa? I think, okay, here's what I think about this. When there's a divide in these franchises, I think it's bad for the show.
Agreed.
Because you want everybody like intertwining, talking and stuff. So if you have like a side over here and a side over there, and it's like, you basically have them sitting at each end of the party.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys are getting along. It's fine. But
I mean, the way I put it whenever, you know, I think about this, and if you ever doing reality TV, if you were a new person joining a show, one thing I would say is remember they're your coworkers first, your friends second.
Yeah.
And you may come onto this show friends with somebody and have this deep friendship, but once you're on these shows, coworker first, friendship second. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing is Fessler is she's doing her job.
Yeah.
No, but it does
she's right
at an expense.
She's going to get into the middle of it now, and then she's like, you know what, I'm going to get another season. Like if I'm in the middle of all these storylines, like, and then she's kind of playing Switzerland and kind of friends with everyone.
But you are right. I think it does do a disservice whenever people say, but I don't know. Did Margaret say she wasn't allowed to talk to her? I thought Margaret was just saying,
just don't talk about
keep
me.
my name out of the conversation.
I think you're right.
And I think everyone's extrapolating it as her saying you can't be friends with her. And I think Margaret's smart enough to know that that's not a good move.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's what she was saying. I think she was just saying, don't talk about me.
What else are you finding out in this season that you're like popping off on already? Like the boys, I mean, like Paulie with John Food.
Well, are we talking
I didn't think
off camera stuff?
What he said, but no, I don't know anything. I don't ask them about like, hey, can you give me some tea? It ruins it. I want to like wait until I see it. You know what I mean?
Well, no. I mean, like just the things that all came out ahead of the premiere. That stuff is, I think we're seeing it all play out on the camera, like the things that came out.
Do you think that like Teresa and Melissa talked this season at all?
I'm sure there's like, I don't know if the finale they do or if they truly go a whole season without speaking.
Yeah. I think it sounded like that in Watch What Happens Live when she said it, didn't it? Like, we're done. Like, Andy, stop asking.
But then that makes me wonder, what is that finale? You know, the cold open with Dolores at the beginning?
Yes.
And there she's like, how did the sit down go? And then she's like, horrible, you know? Like, so was that referring to Teresa and Melissa?
Yeah,
or
Melissa
is this
maybe having a sit down.
Different cast members?
Huh. I like that my Irish friend, his little Irish temper came out.
It was so good. That was so funny. I thought it was strange. I
saw myself in him.
I thought it was strange that he took Louis' side on that because, again, we all know what this show is. Like, this is part of the job. You're going to show up and we'll have this conversation on camera.
But I like what you said, though. If I was on one of these shows, it's like, it's a job. Like, stop with the friendship stuff. Like, get the entertainment, get the drama. Like, you're being paid.
I mean, that's why you almost would never want to bring on someone that you value their friendship that much, because ultimately that will probably take priority as their job versus the friendship.
There was a comment in the trailer, I think, when the first trailer came out, and I don't know who said it, but it was like, Louis pissed all our money away. I want to know what that's about. I can't wait till we get to that. Because everybody felt like he's a bit shifty. Like he was a bit yeah. You know what I mean? There was something just not right. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Something always comes out. Did you like the M sculpt that they had to come over to the house? Did you ever get that done?
I've gotten it done. It's amazing. I did it at Dr. Jen's a couple times, and
Were you able to go to 100% all the way?
Oh, I went all the way.
Did you get on your ass or your abs?
No, I did it on my...
I did it on my abs once. It's cool.
It's
cool. It feels like you have an insane workout.
You have to be consistent. It seems like you have to be very consistent with it.
Yeah,
and
it was like
expensive.
a one... Like, I know a doctor, a friend of mine, and the husband's a doctor, and he's like, hey, do you want to try that? I'm like, yeah, sure. So we did like a session, but it was like...
If you don't do it like a bunch of treatments, I don't think it's going to really give you that much value.
Let's move over to Orange County. I know it hasn't started. Do you have a date when it's starting?
I don't have a date, but I think the turnaround of that show is going to be surprising for everyone. I think because they just wrapped and actually they just picked cameras back up.
Yeah.
People would assume, we're going to get that late, but actually I think we're going to get it this summer.
Summer. Okay. Amazing. And then, I just saw then the legal issues with Jennifer.
So
tell me about that.
I was so confused when I saw the headline, and then I didn't really read into the articles too much. Mm-hmm. And then when I was at Sutton's party, there was two guys that I was talking to about it, and they explained it all to me, what went down. And I am shook over it.
Like, what is it, like a gambling thing?
So there is this baseball player.
Okay.
I think his last name's Ohtani. This is all alleged, by the way, but Ohtani doesn't speak English.
Okay.
So he has a translator, interpreter.
Got it.
So the interpreter was, I believe, was allegedly taking money from Ohtani and paying off gambling debts.
Oh, okay.
So like I saw like 500,000 here or like something, you know, without permission, you know, obviously. And I guess Ryan was allegedly the one I think they're alleging like that he was like the bookie.
Okay, like a bookie. Okay.
I read yesterday in a Page 6 article that he's like cooperating with the government. And I don't know if that means he gets immunity or if he'll get some benefit out of it. Yeah. But I'm not sure.
That's okay.
Any other details.
Well, we'll probably see it.
That is
a lot
so
about
messed up. Like
it's just
money.
There's just always something with these people. I mean, it's like they go on these shows and I'm like, okay, you have all these little secrets.
Narcissism.
Like it's just they just think their shit don't stink.
I mean, just need to know, like, how did you get from point A to point B? Like, what made you think, yes, let me steal money from someone, some famous baseball player who can't speak English? Like, why would you do that? Like,
I know you're going to be caught.
Yeah.
Vanderpump Rules, they've all taken that they're on the show off their IGs, which is weird. Like, so like, is it done? I think has something happened with like allegedly. I mean, I don't know. It's just when they showed the preview of the reunion and they're like, take a look at this. Is it like a suicide note, like from Tom Sandoval? Like, I just feel like it's something so deep and dark.
I did see an Instagram account, I think, posted something that what it allegedly was. I don't know if it is.
I mean, if it's
something like, or him like talking about what his plan was or something like that. I don't know. That's just what was, I think, detailed on that Instagram post, and who knows if that's true.
Yeah. But I mean, it would make sense if they dropped it and they were like, we're fucking done. We're out. We're not. No one's going to die on this cast or whatever it is, and just like stop.
The only other thing that I could think of is because, again, I think Lala said that she came out of the reunion like looking at everyone crazy. Like she's like, so I wonder, is there something about like maybe them knowing about the Raquel's or it being a planned thing? I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's what it is. That's just the only other thing I could think of.
That they all knew and they went along with that for TV, and Jesus.
You know, like, and I don't think you could go to that.
Is that tonight, the first one?
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
Okay. Tonight. Yes.
That's it. What, anything else? Do you want to add anything else for Vanderpump? Like, or anything that I'm missing?
First of all, such a like nostalgic moment at the end of the finale when they were showing all of their.
They're so young.
I know, and it's crazy because I look at them and I don't feel like they look that different until you see their earlier. Mm-hmm. You just see how like youthful they are then.
How many seasons? 10?
11. This is 11.
11.
And I don't know. It was just. It makes me sad. I think it's a good way to end the series if they do. If they don't, my thoughts are we need a reboot, and you can move some of those people over to the Valley if they, want to do that. But I think we need
back to the restaurant
to get back to the roots of
it and start again with a new cast that are working there and all that kind of stuff. That could work. The Valley, you're liking the season?
Obsessed.
Okay, I need to start watching from the big hallway fight.
Oh my God, this show! I have to be honest. I was like, nowhere near excited about it.
Okay.
I had zero hopes for it. It's like appointment television for me. I'm so excited.
Appointment television.
Yeah. Like I get so excited for the Valley to come on, which
it's like we're in the 90s. Appointment television.
I was not ready.
It's amazing. I have to be here every Tuesday at 9 o'clock.
Right now.
Yeah. Oh my God. You're a Taylor Swift fan or kind of, or ish?
I think she's a very talented songwriter.
Jesus Christ. You're Beyonce then.
I mean, they're not even comparable.
No, I know, but like you're a big Beyonce fan.
Oh yeah, I love Beyonce.
Okay.
But Taylor Swift, I think she's a very talented songwriter. And
the only reason I bring it up, because I love her, that I always bring her up. I'm seeing now, like, she started her European tour in Paris. And she started off, so she always like drops Easter eggs and like kind of like things like that. So now she's kind of wearing orange, a lot of orange, which
she going to jail?
Which we think, and there was an orange door at the end of the Eras tour concert. I mean, I went to it so far. I'm going again in Ireland. I know it's like crazy. And what they're saying, it's the Karma album. She has an album called Karma that's going to come out, and apparently it could be like a double drop with Reputation, Taylor Swift's version. So there could be two albums coming out this year.
Her redoing like her old songs.
And the Reputation is the last redo.
Oh wow!
But she has another one called Karma, because with the whole Kim Kardashian thing, she went away for a year and apparently wrote this Karma album. I mean, it's just go on TikTok, you'll see it. It's just fascinating.
Oh no, people. I will say I love watching the rabbit holes of the Taylor Swift, like trying to figure. I mean, because it's the Bravo fandom in a different, just a different avenue. And it's so funny because we do the same shit. Like we literally will see someone tweet some sort of like cryptic tweet and we're like diving into.
She does such a good job at it. It's like, because it just keeps you wanting more and more and more. And you never really get tired of the artist because there's just always something going on. Next girl. Okay. The girls trip. That's not going to air, right? The one with Caroline and Brandy.
I just don't see how, especially if it's caught up in, what's it called? Oh my gosh, litigation and stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't see how, even if we would get it, it probably wouldn't be until anything was finalized or settled. But I don't see.
Do you think they could air it without that scene in it? Do you know what I mean?
I know. I don't think so, because I think it would make people look at the network a little crazy, because no one would feel like vindicated or feel. And then I think trying to edit out one or two people, and then you would be like,
because maybe there's a huge fight after that scene, and then you won't know what happened. And like,
the only thing that I feel like I've ever seen with reality where they aired something and just edited around was, I remember on a RuPaul season, there was a queen that got in trouble or was caught like doing some weird, like she was impersonating like being like a casting person and would do sort of like casting couch type stuff, I believe. And I think she was actually really good that season, but they had to like cut her out essentially. But so she was still there, like, but they would not feature her.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So unless they did something like that, but I don't see them airing it unless things get settled and there's no litigation saying like that they can't air it.
Okay.
And if it would be,
I wish they would.
I know. I want to see it.
But I feel bad for Caroline then, because she's really kind of like,
I feel like we need to see it. Like we should see it.
In Peacock.
I'm more like I needed Alex McCord. Like how are we gonna let
that would have
been
McCord amazing to see her
get away from us?
Yeah, like, it would have been.
She didn't even get to do Legacy because I imagine because she was doing this girls trip.
Mm-hmm.
Devastated.
I know. Maybe one day. I don't know. Maybe they're just gonna have to take it out, I guess. I don't know.
If they, you know what? Maybe what we should do is sneak into 30 Rock.
30 Rock and just steal the tapes. I'd love to see it though.
We'll figure it out.
I'm sure they've both seen it.
BravoCon 2025. They better air it.
Yeah. Maybe that's
maybe they just do it like.
I can't believe they're not doing it this year. I mean, I love going. It's so fun.
I think it was a smart year to just take a minute.
Yeah.
Take a breather.
That's pretty much all I have like for you. I mean, do you have any like dates for me or anybody like, you know, I'm just like single now and just like, I'm not like, here's the thing. I just, one or two of my friends were like, well, ask Steve, I'd like to see how many guys for you. And I'm like, okay, but how do I bring that up?
Hey, I can be a matchmaker.
I went on a few dates and I'm just like, I don't even know if I'm like ready to date someone new or anything like that. Like, so right now I'm just like not dating anybody. I'm just like,
Are you looking to just like have fun? Or
I think just have fun and just like lean into it. And if someone comes along, it's kind of like one of those things. I think
that is the best way to play it. And then,
but if so many fucking people in my ear going like, oh, get out and date. You have to get out and date. And I'm just like, I don't want to.
Well, that's the thing. Who cares? Those people are not you. You are ultimately the one that has to do it. And I honestly, it's so cliche, but relationships, I swear, happen when you're not looking for it. I mean, that's how mine
that's how the last two happened when I least expected it.
I was literally not looking for a boyfriend at all.
And I like, that's the way it's meant to happen. It's like, I don't want to like chase somebody or just like you have to go on fucking apps and stuff. I'm not doing the apps. I'm just not. I get like, it's just, I get depressed with it. I don't get excited at all.
Yeah, it's really just like rushes of dopamine, little doses.
Yeah. And it's fun. It's like, I feel like it's just more meaningful when like randomly like you'll meet someone or something like that or why not? But
I
keep an eye out, I guess.
Have fun, go on dates and stuff, and obviously
this is my boyfriend now. This one. He's the best thing. He's just the best thing. Anyway, Stephen, go follow him on Faces by Bravo, everyone. And we'll see you back here next week. Watch Baby Reindeer. I'm going to talk about it again next week. Bye.
Bye.